Hey everybody, what's up? Hey, this video is really going to be more of a discussion about a tale of two Bentons. And I've been checking out Harley Benton guitars. I've only checked out the two that you see before you. This is the Harley Benton T-Style TE52. This is the Harley Benton single cut. It is the SC400 SGT, which stands for Gold Top. And so yeah, just thought it might be helpful. Some of you may be considering, well, what about this Harley Benton thing I keep hearing so much about? So I thought it might be helpful to share a couple of thoughts about that, my experiences with you. So I have a couple of other videos that I've posted. This is my, as I said, the Harley Benton TE52, and I made some unboxing video and other follow-up from that. So basically the long and the short of it is that when I bought the TE52 straight from Thomann, it was shipped to me from Germany. And you know, it's about $140 for the guitar US. The rest was in shipping and taxes. Somewhere I was all in about $224 it came, but the neck pickup did not work at all out of the box. Long story short, they made it right for me and actually refunded all of my money. And life is good on that front. Great customer service on the back end of refunding my money. However, so I'm not a guitar tech. I'm not a luthier. I'm not a technician. I don't know anything about electronics, none of that kind of stuff, which is clear if you've watched any of my guitar videos. But the neck pickup was jacked up, and so I went on Amazon. I bought the cheapest $15 neck pickup that I could find and soldered it in, and it works fine. I'm not going to do any sound test right now with you, just kind of, it's more of a storytelling video. And the neck pickup works fine, the bridge pickup works fine, but the mid position where it's supposed to be both pickups just sounds really weird, and it's probably my fault. And you know, maybe I just don't know how to wire pickups, but I got everything working. And then that led me to one of the things about the Harley Benton T52 that I really liked is it has kind of this satiny, almost not finished neck, but it is finished. It just feels like a baseball bat. You know, for those of you who have ever played baseball, if you haven't, bad illustration. But the neck is very smooth, but I've been making, I figured, okay, why not? So let's do some upgrades. So I upgraded to the Graphtec string trees. I put hip shot locking tuners on the guitar. Now, one thing about upgrades and me. So when I took off the original tuners of the guitar, the bushings of the tuners were really embedded in the headstock, and I couldn't get them out. And so I watched a couple YouTube videos. I ended up putting a flathead screwdriver, catching the side of the bushing from the back end, and tapping just ever so gently with a hammer, and sure enough, the first bushing came out, and then the second bushing came out, and then I got a little bit maybe more aggressive with my hammering, not so careful about the screwdriver placement, and I chipped, of course I did, I blew out 3 of the holes by way of the screwdriver caught the wood and chipped it. And so I went in, and now I'm not a guitar techie kind of person, so you can kind of see here that I went in with Gorilla Wood glue, filled the holes, sanded, so on and so forth. Moral of the story is, be careful. what really works, just FYI, I found out after the fact, is if you have like an Allen hex kind of a tool that you use for truss rod adjustments, for example, you could put that in, and if you have a larger one of those, it'll catch all sides of the bushing, and you can just lightly tap, and guess what? The bushing comes right out, and you don't jack your guitar up. Anyway, so I got some locking tuners, got those all installed, got the Graphtec string trees. I did get a Graphtec nut, which I replaced, and also I got Wilkinson brass compensated saddles. Set up the guitar, truss rod adjustment. The frets really didn't need a lot of work. There was no sharp fret ends. I did find a couple of frets that needed a little bit of leveling. So what I'm kind of getting at here is, okay, so on the one hand, were those modifications necessary? Well, replacing the pickup was absolutely necessary because I had nothing in the neck position, and that ain't cool. So that was definitely needed. Did I have to replace the nut? Did I have to replace the string trees? Did I have to put locking tuners on? The tuners that came on it did not feel great and did not hold tune, at least from my experience. And so that's why I went with the locking tuners. And I replaced the string trees just because I didn't like the old kind of metal ones that were on there. And so, the nut, did I have to replace the nut? Well, it was just kind of, a piece of plastic, and it wasn't cut very well. And so those could be considered player preference, and that's cool. Did I have to replace the saddles? I don't know that I had to do that. What I can tell you is that having done those things, this guitar really does measure up to, I've got a Squire Classic Vibe Telecaster behind me. The main difference between the two guitars is that this neck feels a little bit fatter, but it is much smoother to get up and down on. And so, anyway, great guitar. I'm just saying that for those of you who are stateside, who are considering buying a Harley Benton, buying a guitar from Germany, paying $60 to $80 in shipping to get the guitar to the States, and then to have a damaged product and have to deal with all the customer service chaos. And again, it was a week of emails back and forth. Tom did make it right. Ultimately, they did. Refund my money, and I wasn't out a nickel for a defective product, and had a great guitar that I could mod and experiment with, and apparently damage the headstock along the way. So great guitar. And so one route is, hey, look, you can buy from Tom and pay the international shipping, take a little bit of a risk with the product that you get, and trust that their customer service will remain true. So, because, I, like you, don't have enough guitars, I decided that I had to have a single cut. And I was really been, in full disclosure and transparency, I have played, I've played guitar for a while. My playing would not suggest that, but I'm a few decades into this. I've had Gibson Les Pauls, I've had SGs, I've had a ton of Epiphone LP Les Pauls, different models. I've had real Fender Strats, I've had real American-made Fender Telecasters. I've had the Squire line, I've got a Bullet sitting over here behind me as well. I've got a Squire Classic Vibe behind me, Strat here. But the point is that I've played a lot of Epiphone products. And so I was just really interested. Okay, well, how does this, last time I went online, I think that this guitar was about 120 US. I thought, man, I'd love to just buy that. I mean, it's a $120 guitar. Why wouldn't I have one? I mean, that's an easy sell. Look, baby, I need another guitar. It's 120 bucks, you know. And so I was going to do it, but I had this heartburn from my experience with T52. What if it comes and a pickup doesn't work, or a switch doesn't work, or something like that? And I was just having a little bit of not buyer's remorse necessarily, but I was really cautioned by that. Did I really want to spend 120 bucks for the guitar itself? Not a big deal. That's a great value. I think it's a great price. This is a really nice playing guitar, by the way. This isn't a playing video, but I'll make a couple of those perhaps. So I could have spent the 120 bucks on the guitar, but again, I'd have to pay 60 to 80 bucks in shipping, and then there's a little bit of a risk factor based on my experience. So I found a company through Reverb called SkunkWerx. I'll drop a link in the below. And so I found SkunkWerx, and they do something that they call a better Benton. And so when you go to their website, what you'll see is that they say that what they're going to do is they're going to deal with any sharp fret ends you might have. They're going to level frets. They're going to do truss rod adjustments. They're going to do intonation. They're going to slap new strings on it and make sure that out of their box that you get a guitar that plays really well. So I pulled the trigger on that, and the guitar was about $220. Then I had some shipping and some taxes. So this is $300 as opposed to, let's see, if I'd have bought with Tommen and had it shipped over, it probably would have been somewhere around $250. So, you know, about 50 bucks difference here without doing a lot of math this morning. And so the guys at SkunkWerx were great. I asked tons of questions. So what I don't know about it is, I don't know if they purchase new guitars from Tommen, and then they get the guitars, they do their setup and their fretworks and all that. Again, I'll put a link to their stuff below so that you can check out the specifics, because I'm sure I'm not using the proper marketing terminology for them. By the way, this has nothing to do, I don't work for SkunkWerx. I'm not getting a discount unless, hey, Spanky, you want to do a brother a solid. I mean, you can do that. But they didn't ask me to do this, obviously, and we'll probably never see the video. So anyway, SkunkWerx, yeah. And so I said, okay, man, I'm going to bite the bullet. But I asked tons of questions. Like, they had a poker chip on here, and the lettering was just not cool. And I said, man, do you have another poker chip? So they threw a poker chip on there for me. This is a Harley Benton product, and so no offense to Harley Benton, but there's some imperfections. Not SkunkWerx issue, a Harley Benton issue. Last night I took off the pick guard, and there are actually 2 holes where this piece is drilled in. And then this hole is like twice the size of a hole. And so I would love to take the pick guard off, just have I like the look of a single cutaway without this pick guard on it, but I got they were kind of a massive hole here and 2 holes here, and maybe in time I'll do something with that. There are some imperfections in terms of the paint. You know, they say that this is a gold top bottle. It is really more, and I read about this. It looks more orange than it does gold. But hey, I'm probably the biggest Baltimore Oro fan you're never gonna meet, and so I like orange. I'm down with the orange, but it has like some fadedness to it. Now, in full disclosure, as soon as I ordered the guitar, I went out to Amazon and I got some Musiclily speed knobs, and I got the amber color as opposed to gold because I just thought it would look cool, and I prefer speed knobs over the tulip. And so anyway, so I've done that to it. Out of the box, SkunkWerx did a great job. There are no sharp fret ends. The frets feel nice. I don't have, nothing frets out, you know, everything's cool. I don't know if it was because of shipping or what. I mean, when the UPS driver dropped us off yesterday, man, it looked like the external box looked like it had been thrown around a couple times. So not that, and it came from California to Texas, and there's all kind of climate challenges. I did have to adjust the truss rod slightly, and then I did also lower the bridge components a bit to get the string height to where I prefer my string height to be. And so, yeah, all that to say, if you're considering buying a Harley Benton, and if you're in the US, and if you don't want to take the gamble of international shipping and having a difficulty and then trying to figure out what in the world am I going to do with this guitar, after the fact, you might want to give old SkunkWerx a try. And they don't, again, it's not clear to me if they buy new guitars and do their fretwork stuff and then sell it to the general public, or whether or not they are buying used guitar from people and doing that process. I don't really know. This guitar doesn't seem to be used to me. It had actually still had plastic on one of the pickups, and there was plastic up here on the truss rod cover, and there's no damage to the guitar. There's still plastic here on the back control panel. This again has the nice cutaway. This is kind of a satiny, feels a lot like the TE52. So if you like kind of an unfinished feel, not that it's unfinished, but it feels unfinished, feels very smooth. Yeah, you might want to give the guys at SkunkWerx a shot. Call old Spanky, tell him Ted sent you, because he has no idea who I am. But yeah, so a tale of two Bentons. So at the end of the day, I think it comes down to a question. Do I want to buy a guitar and have it shipped internationally and risk there being a challenge? Or would I rather buy a Harley Benton from someone, from an organization, from a company that's going to go over the guitar with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that right out of the box it plays? So for me, not prescriptive, just descriptive of my experience, I found that $50 money well spent. I was mostly convinced that the guitar out of the box would do everything, would all function, and then it would be set up properly. And for the most part, I was right about that. Again, I did have to adjust the truss rod. They even asked me what kind of strings did I want on it, and I did adjust the bridge a little bit because this string was hitting the bridge piece, and I've heard that gives intonation a really hard time. So anyway, I did a couple of tweaks. I replaced some tone knobs, but I'm gonna go play guitar now. And I may make a video later of me playing, but really this has just been a tale of two Bentons. So shout out to Tommen, who did make did refund my money on my defective guitar. And shout out to SkunkWerx, man. Great job, happy customer here. All right, man, rock on, guys. We'll see you.